StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Stats and Maru on Echo, the latter edition. In the bottom right side of the map, we have the Red Terran player. It is Maru. Representing Jin Air Green Wings and from South Korea. Also, we have his opponent in the top left. It is the blue Protoss player, Stats. We've seen a lot of Stats recently. Protoss player, currently teamless, but very excellent in his own right. Do not assume just because they do not have a team right now means that they are bad. Not the case. Not the case whatsoever. All right, so Maru has actually been around for a while. He is known for being the youngest GSL player of all time, winning his first televised game at the age of 13. Wow, been around a while. Has won several tournaments. Went ahead and beat Maru back in 2012. I mean, he's just been around for a while now. Very, very strong player. Want to see more of him for sure on the channel. And for those of you who are fans of Maru, you're welcome. You are very, very welcome indeed. So Maru going for what looks all the world like a Reaper expand. We'll get that Reaper name list ready to go, but it is a PVT. Again, I feel like I've been ignoring PVTs a little bit, so here's another one for you guys who have been jonesing for it. I need to cast a best of 5 or 7 PVT. That's what I gotta do. That's what I have to do. I need Nation Wars replays too. Those were fantastic. All right, Probe here, trying to harass a little bit on the construction of the barracks. Can't quite get the SCV. Another SCV comes to defend his friend's honor, chasing that Probe away. And it is a Reaper, so we are going to pull out our Reaper name list. And this Reaper's name is going to be Falcon Paladin the 8th, descendant of the great Falcon Paladin, who was an upcoming esports caster who captivated audiences across the Kaprulu sector. Fearing his popularity, the esports casters of that day kidnapped him while he slept and forced him into the Reaper Corps, hoping to never see him again. You know what? I think that's going to work out for you guys. Your plan has succeeded. Reaper, like, survival rate is approximately 0.001, if I had to put a number on it. Here I go, though. Falcon Paladin the 8th, the descendant of the original Falcon Paladin. So the 8th would be 8 generations away, which is what? Generations about 40 years? 30, 40 years? So, yeah, 300 years later. Jeez. All right, this is super duper future, which it makes sense considering StarCraft is very futuristic. So moving out is Falcon Paladin the 8th. Going to scout out the expansion by Stats. Okay, not super interesting there. And then head on home. Why are the Reapers are very cautious, man, in the hands of pros. I don't know what it is. I mean, yes, there's going to be photon overcharge. Yes, there's going to be adepts. Yes, it's difficult, but man, Reaper coming all the way back here. Falcon Paladin the 8th, you are dishonoring my name by being something of a coward. At least, okay, at least scouting for proxy stuff. This is good. This is good. This is more encouraging from what I can see. Double pumping Marines right now. Woodamine on the way as well. Starport coming in for the Maru. Got a robotics facility warping in back home. First Stats here. Double assimilator. I mean, nothing really is bothering our Protoss player too much. He's patrolling the rampant in the natural base with an adept and with a mothership core. All the better to shoot Falcon Paladin the Reaper down when he sees him. Yep. Gets a shot off. Reaper retreats. Run. Falcon Paladin the 8th. Run. Still looking for interesting stuff. There's nothing really to find. There is a weird pylon right here in between that 3rd and the 4th base. Or potential, or rather 2nd and 3rd base. Potential 3rd base for Stats anyway. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing with that. Maybe he can photon overcharge it. Who knows? Get on up there. Get that scout in. Yeah, scouting is Falcon Paladin the 8th. Going to try to throw down that Kitty 8 charge, knocking, then probes back and can get a probe. Nope, dead. Nope, turned the other way. Ran right into an adept and got murdered. 0 kills for Falcon Paladin the 8th. And the plan of the esports casters was successful. Another barracks on the way for Maru. Looks like we're going to see a pretty darn standard Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Widowmine type play sort of thing. Maybe some tanks mixed in too. I do like tanks in TVP, just because they do extra damage versus armored, and Immortals and Stalkers are both heavily armored, and therefore take that extra damage from them. Observer hanging out inside the main base for Stats, not moving out. Maybe a little intimidated to move out, worried about Widowmine drops, possibly, which is an option here. It is an option. As a oh, there it is. Widowmine drop. Tried to do stuff at the natural base. Got shut down by photon overcharge pretty quickly, though. Stats on top of things there. Marine count is up to 9 with 2 more on the way. We'll make that 11. Engineering bay at the front with another supply depot. So walling off against the Protoss. Don't see much of that. Observer flying on in, trying to see what is up. Seeing additional barracks being constructed. Seeing the starport. Seeing the factory with a tech lab. Tells him tank at that point. I mean, maybe it could be Thor, but no, it's going to be tank. It's going to be tank. really trying to find a place to drop this Widow Mine drop is Maru, and I just don't know if it's going to happen. We've got defense everywhere for stats, taking his 3 bases, splitting his units, defending the different areas where the medevac can come in. And is he going for it anyway? No, backing out. Backing out. Does recognize there are 3 stalkers here. That's enough to shoo that away. And Maru having a hard time getting some harassment off here. Just decides to burrow a Widow Mine at the potential 3rd base for stats. Maybe get a free probe kill, maybe not. But at least it is worth a shot. So stalkers on the ground for the Protoss player. Tanks here for Maru. Actually a single tank. And then moving into factory reactor stuff. So maybe Widow Mines instead. So again, just bouncing back and forth. 3rd base has been taken here. Did he just pick off that Widow Mine without losing anything? He did. Stats. Stats. Such a great play there. Widow Mine trying to drop some adepts back here, but the entire army for Maru is sitting right on top of that natural base. There were a ton of Marines and a tank there. I guess same story here at the natural base. Ton of Marines and a tank. Widow Mine drop. Oh, does get the Widow Mine drop and boom! 3 kills. Yay! Success. Oh no, medevac gets picked out of there by the stalkers and the Widow Mine dies too. I mean, maybe 3 probes was worth it to lose a medevac and a Widow Mine, but I don't think Maru would agree. I don't think he would say that as a fair trade. Colossus in production for stats. We've seen those guys a little bit more in the latest patch of StarCraft 2. Gotta feel good about that, you Colossus fans out there, War of the Worlds fans. That's exactly what they look like. Resonating Glaives on the way for stats. And again, those Colossus. Maru just going for standard stuff. Stim, combat shield, +1 attack for his biological units. And a small little push out for Maru. Nice leisurely Sunday stroll along the bottom side of the map. Nobody's stimming, nobody's flying around, just hoofing it. Just marching in quick time in the military. Hup, 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 hup. Got some tanks in here for defense as well. Going to try to set up and attack this 3rd. I don't think Stats knows this is coming. He doesn't have any detection along that bottom route. He doesn't have any detection really anywhere, except for the observer between this 3rd and the 2nd base. He sees that 3rd base coming in. There's the scan, and tank's going to set up in range to do some damage. And here we go, Colossus, Stalker, Immortal, Sentry, trying to do this thing. And actually pulling back and leaving the tanks alone a little bit was Maru. Colossus in the back doing a lot of damage to these Marines. The tanks are gone. Marauders taking out, picking off that Immortal. No, 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 Colossus, they need you. They need you, Colossus. Photon Overcharge being used as well in this defense. Can they get, if they had Blink? They do have Blink. They used it previously, though. Could have picked off that very, very low on HP medevac, but couldn't get it, and Maru retreat. So good hold by Stats. Still alive. 7.5 minutes into this game, which is all you can really ask against somebody as talented as this Terran player for sure. Do I look at APM for these guys? I haven't looked at APM for a while. Yeah, over 300 for each. 330 for the Protoss, 360 for the Terran. Extended Thermal Lance on the way for the Colossus, getting +1 upgrades, getting +1 armor. Continuing Colossus production. I mean, if you're getting Extended Thermal Lance, you should probably have more than 1 Colossus, and I think Stats would agree with that sentiment. And yeah, just more of the same out of Maru. More Marauders maybe to deal with the Colossus. They don't take as much damage from them, and they hit them harder than Marines do. So very Marauder heavy composition. So actually, that's really good against Stalker Colossus. I'd almost like to see more Immortals coming in. Immortals coming in out of Stats to deal with this. But here comes Maru marching up the ramp and down the ramp and up the ramp and down the ramp. And finally here at Stats front door. Again, you got to keep that pressure up. You got to either be defending pressure or getting pressure up. Disruptors on the way for Stats as well. I feel good about that decision. Disruptors do very well against both Marines and Marauders, as it turns out. So coming in, trying to get a concave set up, setting Widow Mines up at the front door, getting burned out by the Colossus, and there it is. Widow Mine does die. Good job. Good pick off there. Doesn't really want to defend it, does Maru. Leaves the Widow Mines to die. Says there are multiple Colossus now. That's not good. That is not good. Attempted drop. Man, Stats really seeing that coming. Absolutely seeing that coming. Attempted Widow Mine Marauder drop? Widow Mine Marauder drop here at the natural base, and Stalkers push that away immediately. Disruptor really wants to get a shot off, but Maru doesn't want to hold still long enough to allow that to happen. Widow Mine gets murdered there again. Every Widow Mine that Maru plants is getting destroyed. Widow Mine drops are happening here at that 3rd base. Good pull of the probes, though, saving them for the most part. Another drop up here by Maru at the top right, not doing whatsoever anything. And by that, I mean not doing anything whatsoever. That is actually how people speak English, it turns out. So Maru dancing with 4 medevacs full of units here. Stats kind of bouncing around, trying to see where he can defend, where he's needed. And right now, there's nothing really too much threatening him. That medevac that was floating around by his natural base is heading home too. Who goes for the 4th base first is the question of the day. There it is. 4th base on the way for Stats. Bam. Held off the Terran attack, feeling confident about his abilities, continuing to make disruptors. And again, a good Terran player can dodge disruptors, as Maru is, so no guaranteed damage there, but still, even forcing your opponent to micro can be the difference between winning and losing these situations. Liberators here, a good answer to Colossus. Hit ground units, hit air units. Multiple versatile functions there for these guys. And gals, as the pilots of Liberators are in fact female. Dark Shrine coming up for stats. I'm not sure if that's going to be for Archons or for actually Dark Shrine, or for Dark Templars. Could be. Could be. +2/+2 on the way for those ground units. Continuing to pump disruptors. He's got 3. He's going to have 4 in just a few seconds here. So who's 184 to 184 supply exactly right now. 59 to 64 workers. Maru has that lead, but that 4th base belongs to stats. I don't even see where Maru's planning on taking a 4th at all. Scans the 4th base, does Maru. Excellent decision to scan there and pushing up, sending in some disruptor purification novas, catching some marauders. Another one. Oh, you thought you were safe? Good dodge there, though. Beautiful dodge. It turns out marauders trying to come up a little bit over-eager, if you were to ask me what their attitude was there. So I like that play, just sending disruptors in. Why are you pulling all the way back? Okay, not pulling all the way back, just kind of pulling some of the way back. A Stargate on the way for stats. Is that his first one? That is his first one. Huh. Not sure what that is for. Anyway, +2/+2 about to finish for the Protoss ground units. +2/+2 on the way for the Terran as well for their ground units, but not as close as the Terrans are. Fleet Beacon coming up, so maybe Tempest, maybe Carrier. This could turn into a pretty good match that way. A lot of Vikings in the sky, though. I don't know if you want anything Stargate, to be honest. I mean, those Vikings are for the Colossus. And then Warp Gate, too. Oh, Adept Warping tried to happen here at the Natural. If Maru's got shut down by about 8 Vikings. Yeah, not going to happen there. Double. 2 more Stargates coming in. Fleet Beacon not done yet, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect. +3 ground armor on the way. Shields coming in now as well, not getting the attack. Purification Nova, catching a couple Marauders. Not as much damage as possible, but still. Any damage done against Maru is going to be good damage. +1 ship weapons done. Infantry armor level 2 just completed. Again, Marauder count slowly getting whittled down by these Marauders. They've lost 10 of their numbers so far, but it's really keeping Maru pinned in is what is happening right now. But Maru says, enough. You cannot keep me prisoner in my own base. I am moving out. I am going to see what I can murder and see what I can kill. 3 Tempests at a time on the way for stats. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's what you want to do, but here we go. Defender mode circles up at this 4th base for stats. Nova's coming, catching nothing. Okay, a Marine, I think. Another Nova comes in. Great dodge again by Maru. Fantastic dodges thus far. Great split. Not as good a split that time, though. Slowly whittling these numbers down. Cannons are all gone. The cannons defending are all gone, but that is not all that is here. Another Nova sneaking in. Splits. Nova split. Nova split. Nova split. Nova dodge. Nova run. Maru knows how to do this. He's been splitting against Bailings for years and years. Trying to set up here at a 4th base. A single Adept is preventing this from happening. Defender mode circles chase her away, though. She is gone. And Maru just being very patient here. Has his Liberators. They've set up in a very particular configuration here. Taking out the Assimilator on the 4th base. Vikings going after those Colossus specifically. And then the ground units dealing with the Stalkers when they pump in to deal with the Vikings. So good back and forth. Good cat and mouse game right here, I'd have to say. A couple probes getting killed here by this assault. Stalkers clearing out Vikings fairly well. Again, I'd like Storm in this situation for stats. The Nova's pretty good too, just a little bit easier to dodge. Kind of see him coming is what you can do. Viking versus Tempest. Again, a pretty good matchup as far as Maru is concerned. He's okay with it. He is okay with that one. More Novas coming in, and that's a good... No, only a Marine. The split's great. Oh, that's a bigger hit. That is a bigger hit. These disruptors have a lot of kills on them. Okay, 5 on that one. We got 0 on that one. All right, maybe not as much as I thought. 4, but still. Still picking stuff off. Getting rid of these Liberators. You know, Liberators... could be a little better in that setup there. Versus Liberators that are attacking rather than Liberators that are defending. Ah, there it is. The 4th base explodes. Replacement 4th base down on the left. All ready for stats. Stalkers pushing up, trying to pick off retreating units. Widow Mines do fire. 1 hit anyway. And immediately replacing his 4th. Here is stats. So +3/+3 just now completing for Maru at this point in time. +3 weapons on the way and +2 shields being researched by stats. He's got the Tempest cannon. He's got Disruptors. He's got Stalkers. He's got Colossus. Has he lost a Colossus yet? I don't think he has. I don't think he has been very, very careful babysitting those, despite the number of Vikings in the sky. Now it's time to turn the page. Turnabout. Turnabout is fair play here. Now sieging up Maru's 4th base is Stats. All right, so Vikings again, trying to get rid of these Tempests. It's just not very easy. Planetary Force is getting some shots off here as well. Vikings getting volleys off. They do take down a Tempest. Nice pick off there by Maru. But again, keeping Maru alone, keeping Maru on the defensive here. Liberators are getting picked off. They can't run. When they're in defender mode, they can't run here. Nova whiffing on everything there. Another whiff. Stalkers coming in. Another Liberator under assault by these Tempests. They do have shield upgrades, no attack upgrades, but it's enough. It is enough to pick those suckers off. All the Liberators are gone from this 4th base now. Is he gonna... Stats pulling back a little bit. I don't know if he's trying to maybe whittle down this Viking count or maybe reinforce with something that's not Tempest. Either way, Viking count still high. Medevac count still high. It's 188, 199 total supply. Stats looking very good indeed. Very patient. +3 air weapons being researched by Maru, though. That's going to be super useful for the Vikings and for the Liberators. And he's got fully upgraded Marines and Marauders, too. I mean, that's the level of StarCraft 2 we're looking at right now. Is just the upgrades are absolutely nuts. Great concave and a surge forward by Maru. Nova comes in. Oh, no, they pick off the Disruptor. That one didn't get picked off, though. But here we are. Vikings on the air. Marines and Marauders on the Stalkers on the ground. Maru smelling blood, going for it. Nova does chase them back a little bit, but losing another Disruptor is Stats. Suddenly, what went wrong? Maru on the warpath, destroying everything, killing the Disruptors, killing the Colossus, trying to stand and deal with this is Stats, but no, I don't think there's enough single Disruptor remaining. It does have a Nova available. Can it get a shot off? Some damage done there, but it's 153 to 103 total supply. The 4th base going to fall again. For Stats, he does have his 5th base. He is still alive on that one, but losing this Nexus again for the 2nd time has absolutely got to hurt. Continuing to move on in, not going home, not waiting for reinforcements. +3/+3 Marines and Marauders, +2 attack, soon to be +3 attack Vikings. Stalkers trying to do this. Stalkers just so bad against Marauders, especially when they're upgraded this heavily. 3rd base under assault. Photon overcharge trying to do what it can, and this Tempest from the high ground getting destroyed as well. Marines and Marauders getting surrounded by Stalkers just a little bit, though the Vikings did leave. The Vikings are landing to assist with this attack, doing their extra damage versus mechanical units, which is what Stalkers are. Another Photon Overcharge does get shut down. Nova coming from the backside, taking out a couple of Vikings. Adepts coming from the backside as well, but that is it. A GG! GG out of Stats. Stats is defeated, and Maru is victorious. That was a good one. That was a good PVT. I thought Stats had it for a second. I really do. I really felt like he was threatening this 4th base of Maru. He takes this 4th base down. I think he wins. I mean, he's up 5 bases to 3 at that point. Maru's mined out of his 1st and 2nd bases. So those are useless at this point as well at that point. But somehow, I don't know, Stats picked off all the Liberators. All that Maru had left were Vikings and Marines and Marauders and Medevacs, and Stats pulled back. He pulled back a little bit. Again, I feel like Archons and Storm would have been a little bit of a better choice at that situation, but can respect what he did. And then Maru just said it's time to go. I don't know how he knew. I don't know what told him that he needed to go at that point, but he figured it out, and he pushed, and he chased that army all the way back to this 3rd base, all the way home. For Stalker count, a little bit too high to deal with the Marines and the Marauders on the ground, and then the Tempest and Colossus were just no match for the Vikings. It's almost like Maru was better without the Liberators. I don't know how to explain it. So, great job by both of these players. Amazing PVT for you here today. I hope you enjoyed it, because that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.